Why do you have me out here in this heat?
Why are you asking silly questions? Well, we're going to try to get supers off if we can, because next week when the weather cools down, I'm going to put treatments on, and I don't want to have to lift off all those to put the treatments on, so I want to get them on and off real quick. I'll probably do a quick spot check on them, just make sure they're still clean right. And then after we do our treatment, which will last 2 weeks, we're going to use Mite Pro. And I'll go through and check them all again, make sure we didn't lose any queens. So I want to make sure we're clean right before we start.
And then also, I don't know, did you just say we're feeding them, right? And that's why we're taking out the supers?
Yeah, we're going to try to feed everybody, get them a little bit of a kick in the pants because the hot weather. There's not really a lot coming in right now. Hopefully this fall, in the next few weeks, goldenrod will start coming in. But yeah, we don't want to have them storing sugar water in the supers. And I do want to get feed on all of them just so they have some resources. So we'll see how it goes. But first, I'm going to pull all these weeds. All right, so we're going to check these 2 supers. One of them might have some honey in it, so we'll see. We'll show you anything interesting, but otherwise, probably just have you on time lapse, get the work done, get out of the heat. I like my smoker.
Time lapse is off. Let me know your verdict on this hive.
So we got a fair bit of honey in this super, but they are taking some out. So we do have 2 frames full of honey on the other side, so they probably have enough stores, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave this super on just for space and for the extra food for the bees. They got quite a bit of brood going on still. They still got drones in here, which means they still feel like they need to reproduce. So I'll leave the super on for now, and I'll probably treat with that super on. But we got a pretty solid brood pattern going. So I'm inspecting the brood too to look for pinholes in the cappings, which would indicate a heavy mite load. Probably do have a decent mite load, but we'll knock that down this next week when we put treatment on. Seeing queen cups, but I'm not seeing any of them having eggs in them. So, and then the general condition of the bees, they all look pretty healthy. No deformed wing virus. Not seeing any signs of brood issues. So this one's been a hard charger. We got all our honey off this hive this year, so we'll see how it goes. So this one's still got some work to do, pulling the rest of these frames. I don't know if we'll make it this year to get it all done. So we may do a combine of some sort. We'll see after treatment. The Mite Pro treatment can be really hard on the queens, so we may end up having to combine anyway. But this would be a good candidate to be able to pull some frames from another hive, supplement this one. It looks like 1, 2, 3 frames in this top box are really not even being worked yet. Another thing, the fall flow, the goldenrod might help them do that. So what we're going to do today is put on our 2 empty supers that we extracted honey off so they can clean it out and use those resources and hopefully not lay any eggs in there. But I'll pull out a couple more frames just to make sure this is clean right. Otherwise we got different plans. So let's see what this frame looks like. The bees don't always do what you want them to do, so sometimes you just have to forget about your plan. This box has less stuff drawn out than I'd hoped. So instead of just putting those empty supers with a little bit of honey on them, I'm just going to go ahead and feed. Hopefully they'll draw some more of that comb. But right now, there's not a ton of brood in there, but the queen is present, so hoping if I feed them, she'll be able to lay more, kind of fill out that box. Otherwise, that might be one on the redistribution list. Supplement some of the other hives. So we'll see. It's got a little bit of stuff in there, but not much at all. A little bit of pollen. So probably set this out. Let them clean it up. Oh, there's a fair bit of honey in there. But I think that'll leave them with enough room that they'll be fine. The bottom two boxes are pretty chock full, so we'll see. I'll go check out these ones down here now. Alright, so we checked this hive. I put this super on to try to get them to draw some comb. I haven't even touched it yet. So I'll leave it on for another week. Give them a new jar of feed. This one is pretty much ready for a super, but there's nothing to really store in it right now, so we'll get them through the mite treatment, and then if there's a good fall flow, maybe they'll fill some of that super out, give them a little bit more space. But right now I think they'll start eating down their some stores, so I'm not even going to feed them right now. But these do funny things. This is their feeder lid, and they blocked up all the holes with propolis, so I had Sherry get me a toothpick so we'll be able to feed these bees. Go ahead and poke these holes back out. See if we can't get the bees eating again. So here's one of our other feeders. This one has been empty just as long as the other one. But this one has no propolis in the holes, whereas that hive decided they'd plug it all up. So at least we don't need a toothpick this one. We'll see how this hive is doing. This was the swarm hive. Started out a little slow and seemed to be doing all right. But if we can find her, the last time I checked, this queen in here is giant. So hopefully we'll get a shot at her. Box is full. Look at him.
So technically this is my hive, but I haven't been in it in probably a couple months. Robert's been nice enough to look after the ladies for me. I get too preoccupied with market and garden overflow processing. But dang, yeah, look at all those blaze.
You could almost add another super on here.
Let's see if they got some good comb.
So this is the one we had the wax foundations in.
Little strips.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a complete full top to bottom of the frame. It was just a little strip at the top for them to draw out their own comb so we can have cut comb honey. And I'm not sure if that will be something we do this year, but definitely want to try it for next year. I think we have, what, 3 or 4 frames in there that don't have the foundation. The edge or end frames have foundation, but the center ones don't.
We actually have one that's full of comb and honey. You could extract if you wanted to. You get a few squares out of it at least, or just drop into a jar. I don't know how you're planning on doing that.
For a jar, for sure.
We got brood in here again. Growing brood.
So that was a mistake on my end. I didn't put an excluder on it. I didn't think about it either. I'm still new to this too, guys.
You could still cut out these 2 end pieces though and take those.
That's true.
But with the amount of bees in here, I'm not surprised she decided to come up here and start laying.
Yeah, it does seem pretty full.
Queen excluder would have helped, and Another super.
It's a balancing act, because if we would have put the excluder on and not watch it, then they could swarm because it's too much. That looks good.
It's all honey on this one.
Well, it's not too wonky. Ow.
Well, but see what they did on this one is they built into the other side. But you gotta start somewhere and learning. So we'll pull this one out. I didn't even want to work this. I'd rather just work the natural stuff. So maybe that's a lesson too, is instead of mixing plastic foundation with wax foundation, just go all wax or all plastic. That way they don't really have a choice to decide where to build. But this one we haven't fed this. Oh no. Well, that's how it is now. I left the frame out.
What do you mean?
So I accidentally left the frame out. So now there's 7 frames in each box.
Nice.
This one's got a full super pretty much of honey where they have the comb drawn, but the way they drew the comb out into the space of the other frames, they're not going to be able to fill all the frames with comb. So I went ahead and took one of the supers we pulled off that hive onto here, so if they want to store more honey they can. Hopefully the queen will stay down in that bottom box and not come up with that capping of honey over the top. It's less likely she'll make it up into this 4th box. So if there's a fall flow, or if they want more space in there, they got room to move around and store nectar. So we just need rain and flowers. We'll be all right. We got one last hive to check. That's the hive on top of the Connex. Realistically, I should have got it down a long time ago, but I have to do it really early in the morning or late at night, and I don't feel like doing either one of those things. So we'll go over there and probably spill the feeder again, make sure they got enough room. And we'll be done for the day. Done sweating.
Yay.
Cool.
Okay, you gotta say it.
Say what?
You know what.
We gotta show them the other hive first.
No way.
Yeah, way.
I'm not climbing up there.
You tapping out early?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
I
can say
took
it.
a shower.
Alright, bye!
Like and subscribe for more amazing content, and comment down below what you liked most about this video.